What's up, Lance? How you doing? What's up, YouTube? What's up, IG? Mhm. What's up, Chauncey? How you doing? Oh snap! I'm messing up. I'm doing something. Bear with me a second, YouTube. All right. What's up? What's up? Someone said, "What's the topic?" I don't have a topic tonight. I never have a topic. I just go off the top of my head. So you guys usually ask questions. I don't have a script or anything like that. I'm talking about trucking, anything trucking, uh, Amazon relay, whatever. So I don't have a script or anything like that, Natures, if that makes sense. What's up? What's up, IG? How y'all doing? Sorry for running late. I was on IG Live with my other account, not knowing that this was the wrong account. What's up, Blue? How you doing? Hope all is well. It is. It is. What's up, bro? How you doing? It's my bro on there. All right. So yeah, like y'all know, I don't have a script or anything like that when I do my IG lives. I pretty much go live to answer some of you guys' questions, some newbies that's trying to get into the trucking industry. Always a good thing. Is it a good time to start trucking? And I say yes. I get that question a lot in my DM. So I kind of just start off with going with questions that I get frequently asked in my DMs. Is it a good time to start trucking? And because a lot of people's talking about the tariffs and all of the stuff that we got going on with China and Mexico and all the other countries. And I would say yes. If you notice, well, I don't know if you guys are doing Amazon Relay, but I've noticed a little bump in Amazon Relay since all of this has happened. Now, how long it's going to last, I don't know. Or it could just be the regular time of the year where loads are starting to go up in price. So, with that being said, is it a good time? Most definitely. It's never a bad time to start trucking. Trucking has peaks and valleys, just like any other industry. Ups, downs. January, February is kind of slow. March is kind of slow. Then pick backs up in April, May, June, when people start getting their taxes, people start spending money. So my answer is yes. I've seen all of the seasons for the last 4 years in trucking. So most definitely, I would say it's a good time. Don't let people tell you that it's not a good time to get in trucking or it's a bad time to get into something. I mean, just do it. I mean, what you got to lose? Just try it. And I guarantee you, if you get into trucking, you won't, what I'm saying, look back and you'll be happy that you started your trucking company. Someone said, "Bro, I'm on it." That's what's up. 137. That's what's up. See, look, same question. I told you I get this question a lot. Somebody just asked this question: is trucking getting ready to go through a recession? And I would say no. This is my personal opinion when I say no, because trucking can't stop. It just won't stop. Now, will people stop spending as much money as they was before? Like, let's just say when people have more money, they spend more. So, of course, more things got to be moved, more goods and have to be shipped. But at the end of the day, is Amazon Relay. I haven't seen it been affected yet by anything that's going on right now, terrorists. But sometimes when stuff changes, it takes a trickle down effect. So it could be a little while before these prices or stuff change. So I don't think trucking is ever going to go through recession. And like I always tell, like the guy I was on the phone with. Matter of fact, I hope the guy who I did a master class with today is on here. As a brother, if you in here, say what's up. He was doing trucking since the same amount of time I've been doing it, since 2021. He's been doing trucking, but he's been doing semi trucks. And like he stated to himself too, he's been doing semi only. All he does is semi. He said he don't want to do the dad load board. He don't want to do OTR. He's been doing Amazon really solely for 4 years with a truck. He got on the master class along with his brother. His brother's new doing box trucks. So they was trying to get the inside on box trucks. But there you go. That's somebody else that's been doing Amazon Relay for 4 years. But guess what? He's not on social media. He's not telling you guys that, hey, you can make money X, Y, and Z. So I always tell people, stop listening to people that tell you that ain't no money in something. Like we're gonna always have ups and downs. Even if the pandemic can't stop it, I don't think nothing can stop trucking. And that's just my personal opinion. You know, when trucking stopped, to be honest with you, if trucking stopped for one whole week, if no goods was to move, you would think the pandemic was bad. It would look like the end of the last days. So trucking can't never ever stop, no matter what nobody tell you. All right. Now, will it go back up to how trucking was booming during the pandemic? I doubt it, because you know what I'm saying. Trucking, everybody named Mama jumped into trucking during the pandemic. Why? Because that's one of the only industries that was open. So everybody, let's say trucking operates at an 80%, right? When the pandemic came, it was at 120% because that was the only industry that stayed open. Classic example. That's why I jumped into it. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have never jumped into logistics. What made me jump into logistics? I don't know if you guys know the story or not, but driving back and forth to work every day. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta got some of the worst traffic in the country. I'm talking about 7, 8 lanes traffic every day, all day, right? So going back and forth to work every day, because my company, they didn't care about no pandemic. They was like, what pandemic? Go to work. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I was still working during the pandemic. But when I would drive through downtown, I've been in Atlanta since 1996. This is the first time in my life where I could drive through downtown when the pandemic first hit, where I could drive through downtown and don't see no cars. Only thing I would see every now and then was a box truck, cargo van, sprinter van, and semis. So that's when I was like, dang, you know what? No matter what happened, logistics is never going to stop. So that gave me the brilliant idea to get into logistics. I was like, you know what? That's recession proof. It's pandemic proof. If it's an earthquake, it's a hurricane, goods still always got to go. So that's what made me get into logistics. So logistics is never going to go nowhere, if that makes sense. Someone said, can I get the ebook to get started before I do the masterclass? Yes, you can. You sure can. What up, Ambitious? How you doing? Someone said, why Amazon stopped booking my truck for the auction I had? That's a good question. I don't know. It could be score related auction. It could be tied to your score. So I don't know if your score changed from the last time to the time you're posting now for the auctions. Prime and peak season is upon us. This is a good time to start your company. Yes. So basically right now, if you have nothing up and running, right? Let's say you completely brand new to trucking and you want to get into trucking. For you guys that know, Amazon Relay changed their rules in March of 2023, where they had acted 180-day wait rule, which means you have to have your MC, DOT, UCR, BOC3, and DOT number for 180 days with insurance on that authority, right? Now, after that 180 days, then you are able to apply to Amazon Relay. But let's say you don't want to wait 180 days. You don't want to do the DAT load board. You don't want to be doing local work. You don't know what to do. You don't know nobody to lease on to. You can also join my masterclass. As you guys know, I have 3 different master classes. I have a big master class that's coming up this Saturday. I have 2 slots left for this master class that's coming up. That's the big group master class. It starts on this Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and normally it runs to about 8 o'clock. So it's a pretty long class, but you get a lot of good information. We teach you everything you need, how to get up and running. If you need an LLC, if you need your authority, compliance, how to pay drivers, how to scale, how to read the load board, how to use poster truck, how to read deadhead, pretty much everything you need to know. If you don't know nothing about trucking, you take my master class, I guarantee you when you leave out of there, you will know 99% of the stuff that you need to know to be successful. The only thing I can't give you is the grind. So that class is $9.99. Then I also have my VIP mini classes, which is Monday through Thursday, which is $11.50. That's like a 3.5 hour class. And then I have the VIP one-on-one, which is $12.50, which is me, you, and my business partner. And you just pick the date. Same thing as Monday through Thursday. So any of those 3 classes come with leasing on capabilities, which means you get to lease on to one of my business partners for the 180 days while your authority mature in the background. So now when you get the book load, you get to be anywhere you want to. You can have multiple trucks. When the 180 days is up, you apply to Amazon Relay, and now you have your own account with Amazon Relay. With that being said, I mean, I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. I had a really high success rate with people that come through my master class. Now, today is April 30th. Tomorrow will be May 30th, right? Let's say you took the class on May 3rd. And you say, you know what, Jabbar, I want to get up and running ASAP. You can literally be up and running in 30 days. The good part about that is, guess what? In June, Amazon has this thing called Prime Day. Prime Day is when Amazon has loads that's similar to peak season for a good 2 to 3 weeks. All right. So that means Amazon usually give Prime access to their customers for 2 days, right? During these 2 days is usually in June, and the second one is usually in October. During these 2 days, if you go back and look at my line or just Google it, Amazon Prime Day in October, Amazon Prime Day in June, Amazon do like $14 billion worth of shipment, like crazy amount of numbers in those 2 days. But when people are ordering for those 2 days, it's an overflow. So all the package can be delivered in 2 days. So some of the stuff might take a week, 2 weeks. So this is why Amazon Prime Day, we have a bump in the rates in June. So the same thing happens in October. We have another Prime Day in October. So one in June, one in October. Then after October comes, Amazon Prime Day is over, but in November, then that's when peak season started. If you guys don't know what peak season is when the rates usually double, triple, or quadruple in the amount. So a regular load that's paying $500 or $600 during peak season can be paying anywhere from $800, $900, $1,000, $1,100, $1,200. Okay. And if you're completely brand new, right? Think about it. Everybody that's on this live, everybody that's on YouTube live, one good thing about it, if you decided right now you wanted to start and you don't have nothing, right? May 1st, guess what? The good part about it is if you start now, you can take my master class, you can lease on for 180 days. And the good thing about this point of people right here, if you start now, guess what will happen? You will have your own 180 days before Amazon Relay. With Amazon Relay. So you don't even have to lease on and pay 10%. You will have your own Amazon account where you will be able to deal directly with Amazon and you will be able to catch peak season. So right now is a perfect time to start. If you start now, you can lease on for 180 days, but guess the good part about it is during peak season, you can kill them for peak season because you will have your own account. So that's the perfect thing about the people that's trying to start right now. Just open up my account. That's what's up. That's what's up. What's up, cuz? What's up, man? I still got to get you on here, man. I know last week I said I was going to get it, but I had my little show, my sponsor event that I was going to do last week Wednesday, so I wasn't able to get on here. But we definitely got to come up with a weekend to get you on here, okay? Someone said, from somebody that's just starting, how would you scale? Good question. When you starting off, how does it scale? It's really easy to scale because let me explain this to you. When you want to scale, remember, when you start to start your company trucking, you have to, of course, get an LLC, right? Or LLC, S corp, whatever you want to get, but an entity like an LLC. So let's just say LLC, right? Next thing you need to do is get your authority. Once you get your authority, the next thing you need to do is get your insurance. Once you get your insurance, the next thing you need to do is either buy a truck or rent a truck. You already know I got 100 videos why I like the rental route. So you rent your truck. Now, this is the good thing about it. When it's time to scale, the only thing you have to do now is add insurance to the second truck that you're renting and pay a rental deposit. So scaling is pretty easy with the rental route, which means once you set up your MC, DOT, your authority one time in your LLC, you do not have to go back and set up an authority for each truck. I think that was the biggest myth. Even when I first started, I was like, man, I got one truck, but I want to get another truck. I got to go back through this process all over again. No, that's a one-time deal. That MC and DOT number will allow you to have as many trucks as you want. You can have 5 trucks, 10 trucks, 20 trucks under that one MC and DOT number. So that's the good part about it. So in order to scale, to answer your question, all you got to do is add that truck to your insurance. Usually they'll bill you out 30 days, put $1,000 deposit, you get your second truck. Most people that come through my masterclass usually by their second month usually scales up to their second truck if they're aggressive and they want to get down, and that's the lane they're trying to go in. Because I have two mindsets. I have people that join my masterclass that want to drive the trucks, and there's nothing wrong with that. Then I have people that want to say, you know what, Jabbar, I don't want to drive the truck. I want to do the same exact blueprint you do. I want to get a truck company started, put people in there and scale up. The making money with trucking, don't let nobody ever lie to you. I'm not saying you can't make good money driving a truck. Like the brother today, he was doing it for 4 years, but he said he was afraid or scared to scale up because Amazon Relay is cutthroat. When it means that is you don't want nobody messing up your authority, but you can make so much money by scaling up in trucking. Think about this. Like I always tell people, let's just say, for example, me, I make $200 per night per truck, right? So if I had one truck and let's say I didn't have a driver in it, I was physically driving it, I might make $300 a night. $300 a night, let's say I drive 6 days a week, like most people do. That's about $1,800, right? That's netting $1,800. That's not bad, $1,800 to drive a truck for 6 days. However, I look at it like this. I can make $1,800 a week driving a truck with this one truck. That's me. Not bad. Once again, not bad. However, I look at it like this. I can make more money scaling versus me driving that truck. So I'll make $200 a night with that truck, but I put a driver in it. So I'm not making the money that I would normally pay a driver, right? So think about this. Now I scale up. I get 2 trucks, I get 3 trucks, I get 4 trucks, I got 5 trucks. I literally have 5 trucks running a night, right? So 5 trucks a night running, making $200 a night. That's $1,000 I make every night. So my mindset is I don't want to make $300 a night driving the truck. I want to make $1,000 a night without driving the trucks. So that's what I came up with, the idea of scaling. A lot of people are like, oh man, you should buy a truck. Why? Why should I buy a truck when I can scale, make $1,000 a night where I don't have to worry about maintenance? I don't have to worry about servicing the truck. I don't have to worry about breakdowns. I don't have to worry about towing. All I have to worry about is dispatching my truck out every night, every day. If I told you guys how long it would take me to dispatch my truck out, 5 trucks a day, y'all would think I'm lying. And anybody that's doing it can tell you, if you're using Postal Truck and using the method I'm using, I spend less than an hour a day booking all of my loads for my whole entire company, running my whole entire company. I got my company system down. Anybody that took my masterclass, they can tell you, I got it streamlined. I can show you how to do that, where I spend less than an hour a day running my whole entire trucking company. I spend more money on Instagram, or I mean, not more money, more time on Instagram, answering questions than I do actually running my whole entire trucking company, because I got it down to a science where everything is kind of like put together. So with that being said, I make $1,000 a night. My truck literally run 30 nights every night. So with that's $30,000 net, not gross, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, how much are you grossing? How much are you grossing? Grossing don't really matter, to be honest with you, is what you net. So I net $1,000 a night. But like I always tell people this, my expenses are a little bit lower. Let's just say this. You only netted $100 a night, right? But if you have 1 truck, that's okay. 1 truck, $100 a night. I don't think nobody on this IG Live or YouTube, $100 a night is gonna miraculously change their night. I'm not saying it's not good money, because $100 a night times 30 days is $3,000. That'll pay your mortgage, that'll pay your rent. However, if you have $100 a night that you're making with 1 truck, this is where people mess up at. They try to live off the business too early. If you got $100, let's say you was driving a truck, right? Hear me out on this one. Let's say you was driving the truck, because I get a lot of people like, well, man, I want to drive the truck. Nothing wrong if you want to drive the truck, but you have to have an exit plan. Don't get stuck in the truck. Get you a truck, drive that truck for a month. Once you see that, okay, I got the hang of this, don't be afraid. Get you a second truck. All you have to do, add it to your insurance and put a $1,000 deposit down, right? Now you got your second truck. You got your second truck moving. Now you making, let's just say, now you're not making what I'm making. Let's just say you're making $200, $300 a night driving your truck, but now you're making $100 a night with 1 truck, right? So now you're making $300 a night from driving your truck, $100 a night from this truck. Now, guess what? Now you get your 3rd truck. Now you got another $100 coming in. Now you get your 4th truck. Think about this. If you can scale up to literally getting 5 trucks and you're only making $100 a night, do you guys know how much $500 a night is, making it passively versus working for it? That is crazy money. And if you run your truck 30 days like I do, that's a ton of money. What's that? $15,000 that you're making net a month? I don't know what none of you guys are doing, but I know when I was working my 9 to 5, I did not net $15,000 a month. If I did, guess what? I would have never left my job. So with that being said, it's a blessing in disguise. So sometimes a job will pay you too much where you won't feel comfortable leaving. My job didn't do that. So with that being said, the money in trucking is with scaling. Don't get stuck in that truck, if that makes sense, okay? And for you guys that already hear me tell you, if you're coming from prison, you on probation, you smoke weed recreational, Amazon Relay, no background check. So there's 0 background check. And I've debated people about this for some. You get clowns on my live every now and then, or people that come to my comment, oh, you have to have a background check. There's 0 background checks with Amazon Relay. Amazon DSP, completely different. Now, no credit is needed. You do not need credit because you're not buying a truck. Now, if you plan to purchase a truck, then you do need some credit, right? But if you plan to take the same model role that I took, I don't own a truck. I've been doing this for 4 years now, almost 4.5 years, and I do not own a truck. Yes, if I buy a truck, then I would have to pay for maintenance. I don't want to pay for maintenance. I'm not interested in maintenance. I'm not interested in towing bills. I'm not interested in nothing that's headaches. When my money come to my account, the only time my money leave is when I tell it to leave, which means I go buy something, go on a vacation, or go buy toys. With that being said, that's what I love, the peace of mind. Peace of mind is priceless in trucking. And I'm just trying to tell you guys that I'm not against buying a truck, but I promise you, every week I speak to somebody that goes out, listen to somebody, go buy an old truck, and then that truck give them a ton of problems. You know what I'm saying? One breakdown can knock you out of the game. I don't like playing like that. I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket where, yeah, I might have made $20,000, but now that $20,000 got to go out for some reason. So I'm not with that. The future, go look it up, Rockefeller. Own nothing, control everything. And when people think of ownership, like I tell you guys, when people say, oh, it's better to own, no, it's better to own property. It's better to own stocks. It's only the better own assets, not liabilities. A box truck is not an asset. It's just not, especially when you're paying for it, paying for maintenance and stuff like that. So I ain't gonna beat your head off that. Go read Rich Dad Poor Dad if you don't know what an asset is versus a liability. Someone said, do I have to come to ATL? No, all my classes are virtual. My classes are not in person. None of my services are done in person. Everything I have is virtual. We do it over Zoom. Like I said, I got 2 slots left for the master class that's coming up this Saturday. It's $9.99, but no, everything can be done virtual. I don't care where you at. I have people from Germany take my class, people from Canada, people from Guyana. You don't even have to be here. So the good thing about it is you don't even have to be in the States. If you like in the military, you can set up your whole company and run it virtually. So that's another good thing about it. And remember, I never drove a box truck. My cousin, box truck Wiz, y'all always hear me talk to, or if anybody in the the DC area, MDMB area, y'all, he never drove a truck. His trucks is not even where he's at. So you can be in a Chicago and put a truck in Atlanta. I had a guy in LA. He had 2 trucks in Atlanta. You could be anywhere you want. Put your trucks anywhere you want. You don't have to be where your trucks are at if you're doing the rental route. Now, if I purchased the truck, I would be a little scared to send my truck to go stay in Houston or stay in Chicago, just stay anywhere. If I can't see that truck, that would kind of worry me. So I don't have just think about this. If you own a Rolls Royce, let's say you own the Rolls Royce Phantom, right? $600,000, $500,000 car. And let's just say you put it on Turo. You might put it on Turo for $2,000 a day in Atlanta. If you lived in Atlanta, you might be cool with that because you know the car is here. You can put a tracker on it. You can see it, X, Y, and Z. But if you have a car, would you want to send that car over to Chicago or just anywhere? I wouldn't feel comfortable not being able to see if somebody bought something every single day. It's because you would have an attachment to it. The rental trucks, it ain't mine. I don't have no attachment to it. It's a rental truck. It breaks down, they swap it out to another one. So that's the good thing about the rental aspect of it. Someone said, I want to do your VIP masterclass. I'm looking around June. I will be ready. Let's go. All right. I'll be doing it in June. This Saturday masterclass. Yep. You can go to boxtruckshorty.com and reserve. We have 2 slots left for the master class. What's up, Trucker Rhonda? What's up? I got to get you on here one night too. I know I've been keep telling you guys, man, I'm going to do me a meet and greet, but it's just been so busy, man. When I say I got so much stuff going on, and even like you guys always hear me talk about my liquor company, I got that is literally, boy, I tell you, boy, with China, and my bottles are coming from China, and the whole stuff with China. So that's the only thing that's kind of like prolonging me right now. But my liquor will be out soon. Trust me, it will be. But with that being said, I just got a lot going on with that. Someone said I couldn't find any rental that made sense. I need help. Book a consultation with me, man. I can show you how to get those rental rates down. Someone said, do you know how great insurance? Well, insurance, I just posted a reel about it today, but I can recap it. Pretty much with insurance, what you don't want to do is this is the biggest mistake a lot of people do. Well, let me just tell you a bunch of big mistakes people do. People try to piece together information or they just try to figure it out. Trucking is not an industry where you just want to figure it out or try to this YouTube university. This industry right here is an industry where it makes so much sense to find you, even if it's not me. Because some of you guys probably cross shopping other people or seeing what other people do. Even if it's not me, do not try to get into this industry without finding you a mentor. It might not even be a mentor that's like doing what I'm doing. It might be just somebody that drive a box truck in your neighborhood or somebody that's doing it. Find you a mentor. A mentor will save you a ton of money. A lot of people think that you're saving money by not spending money up front to get a mentor or a mentorship with somebody. That's wrong. I guarantee you, it's a saying. Either you're going to pay for the information in the beginning or you're going to pay for the mistake in the end. So with that being said, to set up your company the correct way is priceless. Now, most people, what they do is because I can tell you what you need all day long, every day. LLC, insurance, authority, rental truck. But What you don't realize is if you call directly up to the insurance company, they're going to give you some astronomical, crazy prices, because that's the first mistake a lot of people do. They call directly to the insurance company. That's a big no no. Get you a broker, even if you don't use my broker, if you don't buy none of my services, find yourself a broker, somebody that has a relationship with those insurance companies that can get you a lower rate. I hope the guys on here that we had a master class with, what's his name? Chauncey, not Chauncey, Elijah. Elijah, if you want here, chime in. But Elijah, he is, I think his was like $3,200 down or something down, but his payments is going to be $1,200 a month. He's here in Atlanta. So with that being said, he was like, man, I don't know if that's a good rate. That's a great rate. You know what I'm saying? $1,200 for a new person starting off is good, a really good rate. All right. So that's the first thing you want to do is get a broker. So now, if you don't want to take the master class, you don't know, don't grab the ultimate bundle pack sale. It's still all three of my ebooks. It comes with all my references. It comes with LLC person. It comes with authority. It comes with all of the things. The only thing it does not come with is leasing on options. So if you just kind of on the fence, you don't know what you want to do, go grab my ebook. It's 99 bucks. It comes with my insurance broker. It comes with my third party authority. It comes with my gas card person. It comes with my factoring person. It comes with everything I have. It just does not show you or go real in depth like the masterclass. And it doesn't come with leasing on options. But if you already bought my ebook previously and you want to join my masterclass, the big group masterclass, we let you in for $750. All you do is got to send proof that you purchased the ebook, right? And an email to info at boxtruckshorty.com. Your first name, last name, and we'll send you an invoice for the $750. You can join the class. All right. Derek, what's up? How you doing? That's one of my mentees right there that just took the master class. Tell them, how do you think the master class was, or how do you feel about it? Derek KKK, what you think about the class? Tell the people what you think. All right, let's keep scrolling. Here is somebody said. He said, here in the Arizona, the relay board is dry. All right. So let me tell you the mistake about that, DEFC Bulls. So this is another mistake a lot of people make when they look at the load board. Like you could be in Atlanta and anybody can attest to this. Even the guy who took my master class, he can attest to this. If you're looking at the load board, right? So let me just break this myth right down. If you're looking at the Amazon load board and you look at the load board, and you're like, man, I don't see no loads on there. 99% of the times when you're looking at the load board, especially in the middle of the day, those loads never leave out tonight. So that's the first thing. So you have to think about this. Amazon is smart. Amazon figured out a way, and they smart with this. I give them my kudos to this, because this is what Amazon do. People post their truck. Let me give you an example. Let's say we got 300 carriers in Atlanta. We got more than that, but let's just say for this class, right? We got 300 carriers in Atlanta. And let's say 200 people every single day is posting their trucks for Amazon Relay in Atlanta. So every day, let's say 300 loads go out, we got 300 carriers. But in Atlanta, 200 people use the poster truck. If you don't know what poster truck is, it's a feature that allow you to set an order for Amazon. And these loads never make it to the load board. There's nothing special you have to do. You have access to poster truck, right? So you post your truck. If those poster trucks, when those poster trucks orders are filled, none of those orders make it to the actual load board. So think about this. Let's say I woke up today, Amazon was going to drop 300 loads on the load board for today. 200 of those loads never make it to the load board. So the biggest thing you do is you cannot look at Amazon and say, hey, this is what the loads are in the on the load board, because you can't judge the area based off the Amazon load board if these loads never make it to the load board. So poster truck is the best feature for Amazon Relay. So I hope that makes sense. So you can't look at the load board and say, oh man, there's no loads here. Why? Amazon's smart. You know why they did it that way? Because now if Amazon had to put a load on the load board for $500, $600, $700 every single day, and y'all see it, everybody see it, then they know what the rate is. They know, well, guess what? I'm never going to book a load till it's $700. I'm never going to book a load till it's $600, $700. So Amazon found a way to put loads out, fill them without competing against itself, if that makes sense. That's very smart, because now you don't know what's moving in the background. So now you look at the load board. This is what most people do. They look at the load board and they panic. They be like, oh man, I don't see no good load on here. Only load on this load board right now is paying $425 or $450 for 200 miles. And they go book it, not knowing you should be using poster truck first. Always use postal truck first. If the postal truck don't hit, then you use the regular load board. Okay. All right. Well, Venezuela, it came out to 36. Someone said, Shamalo said, my down payment was $5,000 down, $2,000 a month. But for veterans with proof of DD4, it came out to 3,600 down, $1,300 a month with box truck shorty broker. It's only high because I'm in Florida. And believe it or not, $3,600 down and $1,300 a month is also a good rate, even for Florida, because you're right, because Florida is sky high. So if you read this is a guy right here that actually went through my masterclass. So he just telling me, read it again for you guys that say insurance brokers don't matter. He said, my down payment was $5,000, $2,000 a month. But for a veteran with a proof of DD 214, it came out to $3,600 down and $1,300 a month with box truck shorty broker. It's only high because I'm in Florida. So if he wasn't in Florida, it would even be lower. So with that being said, information, who you know, will get you in, and it could just change the whole game. Because I had the same thing with that guy. I had a guy that was in Louisiana. They wanted $9,000 down. Y'all always hear me tell a story. He called up directly to Progressive. They wanted $9,000. I was like, that's crazy. He went through my broker. He had to pay $1,600 down and $1,600 a month. But that's still better than that $9,000. And I forgot how much he was going to be paying a month. So information is priceless. You're going to pay one way or another. But congrats, bro. I can't wait till you get up and running, man. I remember you from the master class. You was the younger guy. But that's dope, man. I can't wait for you to get up and running. That's dope. Someone said, how do you hire drivers in other states? How do you do work? So in my ebook that I have, anybody that took my master class, tell you this. In my ebook, I also have a job description, right? I think it's on page 27, 28. All I do is this. Copy, paste this, post this online in the ZipRecruiter, and literally, I guarantee you, if you use one of them sites, you'll have you 30, 40 applicants literally in a day or two. That's how easy it is to find a driver. So once again, when I say when you get my services, I don't leave anything in this business. Like you don't know nothing about trucking, I don't leave it for you to figure out. Because a question like that, how do you hire drivers in other states? Most people would have never thought about that to even put that in an ebook. But I know I'm thinking from a standpoint of scaling. So guess what I did? I already have it in there. All you got to do, you ain't got to do nothing but copy, paste it, post it. It got my pay scale. It got everything in there. And anybody that hired drivers can attest. Like one guy was like, man, Jabbar, I had to shut mine down. Like after a day, I had over 100 people apply. I know. So you don't have to figure out anything. And that's why I always tell people the difference between me and a lot of other people that have similar services online is a lot of their stuff. I don't know about their stuff, but I've heard people that took their stuff, then came to me and was like, man, I really like your stuff. Your stuff is no fluff. No fluff means I'm not giving you no busy homework. I'm not telling you this and you got to go take a quiz. You got to take a test. You got to have something. No. What I'm telling you is if you need an LLC, this is who you go to. You need your authority done the correct way, go to my authority, my compliance officer. If you need factoring, go to this person. You need an EOD, go to this person. You need gas card, go to this person. Every single step of the way, you need a compliance officer to help you with your audit, because a lot of people don't know in the first year you're going to get an audit. If you're not in compliance, you will be out of business. Y'all hear me say this story every so often. When I first started off, I was making a ton of money doing trucking, right? I was in Miami, South Beach, Brickell, in the W penthouse, celebrating. My whole company got shut down for 30 days. I had a compliance officer, but yet I was too busy making money. I was like, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. Didn't have no ELD logs, didn't have driver qualification files. It got my company shut down for 30 days. I had 5 trucks, 7 drivers. I had to pay for 5 insurance. I had to keep the rental trucks because back then, if you turned them in during the pandemic, you would have never got them trucks back. I had to pay my drivers because I didn't want them to leave. When I added all that up, I ended up spending $14,000 for a month. I made zero. So that's a very costly mistake. So most people can't afford to spend $14,000. You hear me? Not like didn't make 14. I had to spend $14,000 of money I already had. So that's different. So with that being said, compliance, don't try to skip over it because you will be out of business. So with that being said, we have a compliance officer in the class. If you want to do the DAT load board, we have somebody, my business partner, teach you about the DAT load board. How do you do the DAT load board in conjunction with Amazon? And then we also have a tax accountant on the big master class that speaks on how to set up. The good thing about it, every last one of us got trucking companies. So that's the good thing about it. So no fluff. Every step, every person, everything that you need, if that makes sense. Someone said, how can I get into training for myself without JA rank to spend that extra MK. Show enough. I don't understand what you mean by that. Can you rephrase that question for me, please, bro? Someone said, I live in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. How can I get a driver training for myself without going to ATL? Who can I get training from down here? I don't know anybody down there. Shamoya. I don't know what part of Florida he's in. But I can see what part of Florida he's in. And so if you shoot me a DM, I can see what part of Florida he's in. I think I got a couple more people in Florida. They might not be in South Florida, but I can probably, find you somebody. I could try. Let me put it that way. Try to find you somebody to get training. Or you can always tell people, go to the local Amazon. If you see somebody with an Amazon truck and go pay them, you're gonna have to pay. But that way you don't have to come to Atlanta and train with me, if that makes sense. Someone say that 2 happiest days of box truck owner's day is the day he purchases a box truck and the day he sells his box truck. I believe you. I believe you on that. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm telling you, boy, I be hearing them horror stories and I be like, man, for the first year, 2, I always thought about buying a box truck. But every time I heard that bill that came up, I was like, nope. Classic example, my best friend, was my first driver. He got a hard head. Sometimes he jump on the lives or not, but he didn't want to listen. His head was hard. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna buy a truck. I'm gonna buy a truck. Because especially if you my age bracket, we was always taught to buy, own. However, they didn't tell us owning depreciating assets is not the same as owning an asset. Completely different. So he went out and bought a truck first year. You can go watch it on my timeline. $25,000 in repairs the first year. After that, he said, you know what? I'm never buying a truck again. So now all his trucks are rentals because now he realized the importance of being able to scale quick, being able to not pay for maintenance, being able to put a truck anywhere you want to. Now, to buy a truck, majority of the time, they're going to want 20% down. So if it's a truck is $60,000, that's a ton of money right there to drop. Then on top of that, if you're spending your last to buy a truck, that's another mistake because you're not, thinking about the future. What happens when that truck breaks down? Even if you have a warranty, how quick can they get that truck back to you? What's covered under warranty? And a warranty, majority of the time, everything that breaks ain't under warranty. That's how they always get you. Oh, this is not covered. This is not covered. But everything in the warranty is BS. So with that being said, just be careful of buying a truck if you spending your last. All right. Someone said, what's popping, bro? Huncho now. What's up, Huncho? What's up, bro? That's one of my day ones that's been rocking with me for a long time. That's what's up. Someone said, how was the shit show? It was good, man. I really liked it. If anybody came, I really liked it. That's my second year going. Dope event, man. I got the sponsor. My liquor, Raylo Say, got the sponsor. We'll be sponsoring a couple more things this summer. I'm still waiting for this meet and greet. I was trying to plan it exactly when my liquor would actually officially launch so I can have a liquor release official for all my box heads and a meet and greet at one time. So you guys can come down and sample the tequila and, taste it, buy it, and the whole nine. So that's what I'm still kind of pushing for. That's the reason why I haven't pulled the date on an actual physical meet and greet because I get that a lot too, man. Put another meet and greet together. And I definitely do because I definitely like being in the room where, connecting people, man. Being in the room with 130 people, connecting them to each other. You might meet your next business partner. There is a real dope experience. And networking is everything, man. I'm gonna tell you this: networking changed my life. Networking got me into liquor. Network got me into other business ventures that I can't really speak about right now. But networking is key. Like they say, your net worth is your network. I mean, network, man. Stop. I used to not network, but man, networking has literally changed my life. I done got in the rooms with people. I'd be like, man, I can't even believe this. So with that being said, network. And that's one thing I like about the big masterclass too, because the big masterclass, when we go to lunch, we let y'all talk, y'all can network, and majority of the time it's gonna be somebody probably where you at, and they kind of have their own little brotherhood. Someone said, if you got the break, can you rent 5 right out the gate? Do you suggest? Yeah, you can. But I wouldn't do 5 right out the gate, Blue, just to be honest with you. I would only scale as quick as that truck is moving 7 days. Because the worst thing you can do is get too many trucks. I've seen people do this. When I first started off, I seen people jump out, go get 5 trucks. And then that truck ain't moving 7 days. So if your trucks are not moving 7 days, you're pretty much losing money. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have 2 trucks, right? You running them Monday through Friday, run the other truck Monday through Friday. You think about it, that's 2 trucks sitting 2 days a week that you're losing money. That's 4 days a week. So you don't want to do that. You want to have both of them trucks moving 7 days a week so you can make the money and maximize it. Okay? But you can. Someone says, is it okay to only run your truck 6 days a week rather than 7? You can, but if you could run it 6 days, I wouldn't see. Now, I think your name is Haisha. Now, this is the thing. Are you driving the truck 6 days? If you're driving the truck 6 days, what I would do is I would drive the truck 6 days. I would get me a part-time driver to move that truck 1 day a week. 1 day a week. So now, even though let's just say you might be making $300 a night driving the truck, or 250, 300, whatever you make, right? Now, by you letting that truck sit, you're not making no money that night. But if you throw a driver in there, I know how much I'm gonna make, but let's just say you only made $100, $150 from throwing a driver in there, because now you got to pay a driver half of that 300 or whatever. You still made an extra $100 to $150, and your truck is moving. So that's me personally. That's what I would do. I would still put, a part-time person in that truck. Someone said, "Hello, brother. Hey, what's up? What's up?" Someone said, when you lease on, can you book other loads other than Amazon? Yeah, you can book whatever loads you want with your own authority, though. You can book whatever you want to. So yeah, you're not tied to actually doing Amazon Relay. So you can do Amazon Relay, you could do the Dat Load Boy, you can do whatever you want to do, if that makes sense. How about Texas? Texas is good. So this is the thing. If Amazon is there too, so I always get this question in my DM, is my area good? I always tell people this. Think about this. Just think about it now. And I ain't trying to be materialistic and nothing like that, but just think about this. If Gucci's in that mall, let's think about it, you're in a city in Houston. Every mall might not have a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton store, right? But the malls that do, they already did research behind it to say this demographics or these people can support having a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton store there, right? Same thing with McDonald's. Like if you watch the movie The Founder, McDonald's is not really about selling burgers. They're about real estate. They're one of the largest real estate holders in the world, right? So not to get off tangent, but think about this. When Amazon put a facility there, they already did a lot of research. Amazon just ain't going to throw a warehouse in the middle of a place where there's no need for it, if that makes sense. If nobody's picking, think about this. When people say Amazon is not paying, you got to think about this. Why is there 200-300 box trucks there every single night? If they're not paying, if they're paying peanuts, if there's no money there, what are these people paying for their truck? How are these people putting gas in their truck? How are these people putting insurance in their truck? How do these people have drivers? Because majority of the people at the Amazon facility are drivers. They're not even the owner. So if an owner has enough money to pay the driver, if the truck is paid off, or pay the insurance and pay for maintenance, whatever it is, how is that possible? Do you think these people are paying these people with water or peanuts or Disney dollars? No, they're paying them with money, right? So somebody's making money. So you have to think about it. If Amazon is there, there's a market there. Just think about that. When anytime there's not a market for it, guess what happens? Everybody's seen it. A store pops up and they don't have no business. What happens to that store? It closed down. How many times have you seen Amazon fulfillment centers or distribution centers close down? I'll wait. I don't see them. Not to say that none will ever, but when's the last time you seen one? You get what I'm saying? Amazon, if you saw what I posted the other day, where's my other phone at? If you saw what I posted the other day, right? I don't know if you guys paid attention to what I posted, but it was deep. It was deep, but it wasn't that deep. But this is what it was. If you go to the post that I posted, anybody that's on my IG Live, you can go. I posted it on the richest logistics. All right. I posted it on. With the richest logistics company in the U.S. Let me just say this real quick, and I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. 10 TQL is the number 10th largest in the United States. 6.9 billion, right? At number 9, Ryder has $7.7 billion. The 9th largest logistics company. 8, Expeditors International, $9.3 billion. Specialist in global freight and customs. At number 7, GXO Logistics. Number 7, GXO Logistics, $9.8 billion. Known for high-tech warehouses and automation. At number 6, UPS Supply Chain Solutions. Supply Chain, $11.5 billion. Beyond the trucks, they run global logistics. At number 5, JB Hunt with $12.5 billion. JB Hunt, $12.5 billion. Coast to coast. At number 4, CH Robinson. Number 4, CH Robinson, $16.7 billion. Freight brokerage. At number 3, FedEx with $88 billion. FedEx, $88 billion. Global delivery everywhere. At number 2, UPS with $89 billion. Number 2, one of the most recognized logistics brands in the world. And at number 1, Amazon Logistics. Number with $140 billion. Amazon, $140 billion. They run a global delivery empire. So Amazon is King Kong. So in a nutshell, is Amazon going anywhere? Absolutely not. Amazon has surpassed all of them. So you got to think about it. Amazon started off in 2007 as a bookstore online ordering books, and Amazon just came in and became a conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? So Amazon is growing, 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 growing. Like I always tell you guys, they're trying to get into the car hauling thing too. So Amazon is constantly growing. So make a long story short, is Amazon good in your area? Absolutely. All right. Someone said, I've been following you for a while now, and I have some questions if you don't mind. That's what I'm on here for, Thomas. I'm on here answering all you guys' questions for you. But if you need my personal time, I do one-on-one consultations. Is $149 for 30 minutes and $199 for an hour. So if you kind of like, I don't know where I need to start, I'm this XYZ, book a consultation. We go over. You speak to me, you don't speak to a VA. I'm on all my master classes. I don't outsource my stuff where you talking to a third party or somebody that's trying to read off a script and give you speaking to me in all my master classes. I'm giving you real life information, all of the knowledge, all of the information that I've had over the last 4 years, right? Someone said, I'm in Massachusetts, the loads in high demand. Yep, I kind of just answered that question. No sound. Someone said, thank you. Someone says, all right, let's see. Where do I get a driver qualification form? You can Google it, or you can check in Marcus. I believe you check the masterclass. Rhonda can help you with those as well. Someone said, how do you go about parking for your drivers? Do they pay for a lot, or you pay for a lot? No, I do not pay for a lot. You're not going to be parking at Home Depot, Lowe's, MARTA station, the Amazon overflow lot. So I've never had to pay for parking ever. But I've seen that people that pay for parking pay between $150 and $300 for parking. All right. So I'm not going to stay on here too long. I usually try to stay on here usually an hour. We've been on here almost an hour. So I'm going to take a couple more questions, then I'm going to jump off. Someone said, do you have alcohol free in your brand? No alcohol free. Is this basically tequila? It's called Relo Say. I got Blanco, Repo, Sado, Anejo, and the new Cristalino that's coming out. And if you guys ain't followed, go follow me, raylosay.com. Or you can join the waiting list. So when the stuff comes out, go to raylosay.com. I have a landing page and Raylosay Instagram channel. But trust me, it's coming. It is definitely coming, and I cannot wait. Raylosay. Someone said, if you're unavailable to take the class on Saturday, 2 types of VI class during the week. Yes, Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to Eastern Time. Right. All my services can be booked at boxtruckshorty.com. Do I provide mentorship? No, I do not. So I have the master class that used to be like my mentorship, but let's say you took the master class and you just lost. Most people after the master class might have to book 1 or 2 consultations. So instead of me having like a $5,000, $10,000 mentorship, you just paid for me when you need me. And that's kind of worked along and helped a lot of people. I've been doing this literally for almost my master classes. Actually, in June will be 2 years that we've been doing master classes. Been real successful. Google me. Go search me. Go look at my reviews on Instagram. Like I always tell people, I know there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff online and Instagram and selling stuff. But one thing about me is I move around too much. I be outside too much. I like to travel too much to do any funny business. So I always tell people this. If you can find one person that I scammed or took money from and didn't deliver what I said, I'll give you guys $10,000. That's how confident I am on my business, and that's how I stand on my name, my brand, Box Truck Shorty. I get on here, try to do my lives at least once a week. But sometimes I don't get to do it if I got something coming up. But I don't run, I don't hide. Usually people that run and hide, they don't come on here and answer questions. I have real life people that took my class, real life reviews, real life people in my comments. I don't buy followers. I don't buy, none of that stuff. Everything I do is completely organic, if that makes sense. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off here. I hope to see you guys at the top, and I hope to see you guys next week. So remember, jump in. 2 more slots for the masterclass coming up this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. I don't know when the next one in June is going to be. I'm going to be traveling like crazy. So I don't know what day I'm going to do one in June. If I might skip June, might go to July. So you want to catch peak season. Remember, if you start right now today, you will be able to have your own, you will be able to lease on for 180, make that money. By the time your authority matures to 180 days, you apply to Amazon Relay, you will literally be a pro at Amazon Relay. All right. So with that being said, Mark Miller, thank you. He's the truth. That's what's up, Marcus. All right. See you guys later on IG. All right, YouTube. I give you guys like a couple more minutes. See, y'all got any questions or anything like that? If not, I'm going to see you guys also on next week. All right. No questions. Well, I hope to see you guys at the top. Y'all take care. All right.